And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, issue number 3, is written by Ryan Parrott with art by Dan Mora, colors by Raul Angulo, and letters by Ed Dukeshire. And this issue starts with the Shredder having come to the Rangers and Turtles' aid as he dukes it out with Bebop, while Casey Jones with Baxter Stockman are attempting to interrupt the Rangers' access to the Morphin grid. Despite Raphael's attempt to stop them, Stockman is successful and both the Rangers and Turtles no longer have access to their powers. This forces the two teams to retreat underground and also make a temporary peace with the Shredder, of which they are underground for 3 days, as April then goes above along with Bulk and Skull to report back what Rita's and Krang's minions are doing. It's also during this time that Billy and Donatello had been experimenting with the mutagen on the Morphers in order to power them somewhat. However, when the Rangers and Turtles go above ground, the Rangers morph into an organic mutation of their own dinosaurs. This affords them new abilities and strengths that allow them easily to take out the Putty Patrollers. Just then, Casey Jones jumps in and actually assists his friends, informing them that he's actually undercover and has been helping them this whole time. Soon after the battle concludes, Splinter joins them and they decide it's time to go into Dimension X to finish this fight. However, the Rangers are to stay behind and run defense, so it's up to the Turtles and the Shredder as Donatello opens up a portal and they then walk through. And just to start, this book is peak fun. I mean, we already have the novelty of the Power Rangers teaming up with the Ninja Turtles, but this book then takes it to a whole new level, because while we've seen the Turtles be able to transform into Rangers, this time the Rangers are transforming into mutants. And there's just something about that I really like. I mean, even just watching Jason shout, "It's mutant time," and then watching the Rangers go through their initial morphing phase where they're calling out their dinosaur animals, but then turn into mutant versions of those, I'm not gonna lie, I squeed a little bit. It was cool to see. And the designs were also equally fantastic, as well as watching them just barrel through like all of the Putty Patrollers and seeing what individual abilities they have. Like with Trini, now a saber-toothed tiger, she has heightened seeing, heightened hearing. She has an additional like ferocity to her that isn't present in her human form. And I especially love the page where Leonardo is telling Tommy that, "Hey, you're a dragon, but guess what? Dragons don't exist." And Tommy's like, "Yeah, but I hope I can breathe fire." And then even a little bit later, seeing that the Rangers don't even all have like full control of their abilities. Like Kimberly, for example, as a pterodactyl, she has trouble flying. She's got to get used to that. And with the Turtles going into Dimension X and Splinter staying behind with the Rangers to kind of like, teach and coach them about, all of their new abilities, I actually can't wait to see what they're going to be like and how effective they're going to be at using these abilities by the end of the final issue. And speaking of the Turtles and the Shredder, also towards the end of the issue where they're about to go into Dimension X and, Leonardo's talking about, all right, let's talk about, what it's going to be like when we come back from Dimension X. And Shredder is just laughing like, "Yeah, stupid turtle. Who says we're coming back from this?" And just like a page of Shredder just laughing and Leonardo looking as annoyed as possible. It's, it was a chuckle moment for me as well. But we also have Casey Jones, who turns out, in fact, is not the turncoat we thought he might have been. I mean, I had a sneaking suspicion he was probably like some kind of double agent, and this is the issue that confirms, yeah, he is indeed a double agent, and he's been trying to get ahead of like the bad guys' plan in order to help the Rangers and help the Turtles. Though I don't know exactly how he's helped them in a way, since, he did assist in the breaking out of Baxter Stockman and cutting off the Rangers from, their Morphin grid powers. But still, maybe he's done some stuff that we don't know about. Maybe he's secretly working, like, taking the Dimension X morphers and he's found a way to power those, which I suspect to be the final end goal of his character by the end of the final issue. Some other things that come to light are character motivations, particularly from the villain side of things. Like with Shredder, we discover that, yeah, he's not actually a good guy. I mean, of course, we couldn't expect him to turn into a good guy, but he is going to help out the Rangers and the Turtles because he still wants world domination. But in his mind, he's like, if Krang and Rita, destroy the planet, there's kind of nothing to take over. So, the enemy of my enemy. And even while Ranger X is talking to Rita and Krang and asking them, what do you guys want with the Earth anyway? You have these vast armadas of warriors and all of these powers and whatnot at your disposal. Why are you concentrating so hard on this one planet? And both Krang and Rita kind of look at each other and it's like, yeah, it's more based on principle and pride at this point, because it was one of those scenarios where it's taken them so long to get ahead to where they could take over the world and beat, either Turtles or Power Rangers, that, yeah, really at this point, they just want to do it just to prove that they can do it. I mean, are those good villain motivations? Not really, but that's why they're villains, because it doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. And Dan Mora's art, once again, shines through and proves why I love Dan Mora working on Power Rangers. He is my favorite Boom Studios comic book Power Rangers artist. His work is very dramatic, it's very dynamic, it is pleasing to look at. And a few panels in particular that I really enjoyed looking at was, of course, the changing of the Rangers to the Mutant Rangers. And also prior to that, while the Rangers and the Turtles are underground and they're first collecting, and we see Jason and Tommy, and then you see that Tommy's head is just dripping blood. And the panel has this very cool color tone to it because, of course, they're underground, but against the bright red blood, it's just a panel that really stood out to me. Because when it comes to watching Power Rangers or even sometimes reading Power Rangers comic books, blood isn't something that you see prevalently, within Power Rangers, whatever it is that you're consuming in terms of products. And so when you see a character like Tommy bleeding, it brings just a little bit more realism to the story. It reminds us that as fun as this team up is, the situation is very real. It has deadly consequences if somebody screws up. And so overall, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, issue number 3, is another enjoyable issue. It's very fun, it keeps the energy of the previous two, and I cannot wait to see the Turtles and the Shredder inside Dimension X in the next issue. And with that, I'm going to be scoring Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, issue number 3, a 9.5 out of 10. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, issue number 3. What did you think about this book if you've read it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.